Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As one former AEW wrestler has sent a complaint to the company for abuse that they say they suffered from CM Punk, and that the company just basically ignored it. Fightful writes the following. According to a new report from Fightful, they state that they have obtained a complaint sent to numerous AEW All Elite Wrestling executives back in September, in which Ryan Nemeth had outlined and highlighted a timeline of abuse, harassment, and threats while working for AEW. The complaint itself was dated with September 12th and notes that although the abuse came from CM Punk / Phil Brooks, who is now signed with WWE, the real issue is how AEW failed to respond to incidents that occurred, and he was encouraged to cut a promo antagonizing Punk. Nemeth included emails, text messages, phone call logs, and other recordings in his documents. In the complaint, CM Punk is referred to as, quote, a former AEW talent who had an undisclosed, i.e. not publicly known, executive, producer, manager title with AEW. On April 16th, 2023, Nemeth claims that he contacted then AEW legal rep Mega Parek with concerns that he was being targeted by Brooks. He notes that on June 21st, 2023, Brooks had threatened him in the locker room. He claims that Tony Schiavone, Mega Parek, and the Young Bucks all showed him empathy, assuring him that this would not impact his relationship with All Elite Wrestling. Yet after the incident, he wasn't booked for 2 months, and Jon Moxley even contacted him, with Moxley stating that this didn't sit right with him and supported Nemeth through the timeline. It was noted that on July 17th, 2023, Nemeth contacted Parek to communicate that he was upset AEW had not responded to the June locker room incident, and he believed that he had been, quote, silently fired. He believed that his exclusive paid per appearance deal would allow to expire. Nemeth claims that he felt he was being punished by the company, but was once again assured that speaking out would not impact his job. Reportedly, the Punk confrontation stemmed from a tweet of Nemeth's in which he called Punk, quote, literally the softest man alive. Nemeth claims that he sent that tweet in character. Nemeth was then booked for the first time in 2 months on August 12th. Yet, upon arriving at the Greensboro Arena for the AEW show, he was told to leave. AEW's Pat Buck had originally told Nemeth that there was some sort of a travel confusion, before confirming that it was Punk who demanded he be removed from the venue. This was reportedly not just a thing Nemeth faced, but a number of talent were kept off the show as well at a demand of Punk. Nemeth claims that he has audio recordings of some of the interactions throughout that day. Nemeth says once again he contacted Parek pleading that action be taken. He was then flown to the August 16th show. He stated in the document that he was, quote, ordered to verbally antagonize the, quote, world champion in a promo in front of the live crowd taped for AEW programming. Nemeth claims that he spoke to AEW Legal and HR that day, and there was no appropriate response to anything on the situation. Parek had abruptly left her role in AEW Legal, and Nemeth was now left to deal with Chris Peck and Margaret Stalvey. After Punk's incident with Jack Perry at the AEW All-In event in 2023, Nemeth was actually asked to speak to outside counsel as they were investigating the situation. Nemeth notes how he let them know that he had already spoken up regarding this pattern of behavior by Punk for months and was concerned about being made the fall guy for Punk's behavior. Those Fightful spoke to on the situation stated that they were not looking to actually talk to Nemeth about what happened with him, but more just Punk's behavior in general to gauge his future with the company. Nemeth notes that he was again told that his contract will not be let to expire, while continuing to communicate his concerns of such. Nemeth would then work the AEW event on November 18th, 2023, the week CM Punk would return to WWE. He claims that he believed that Tony Khan and AEW held him responsible for having CM Punk fired and leading to his return to WWE. Nemeth's contract with the company would later expire in March of 2024. He states that Sanjay Dutt had made repeated creative pitches for him that all got ignored. After completing his outlined timeline, Nemeth says that AEW legal rep Chris Peck communicated a settlement that would equal about 3 years of his salary, depending on if he would sign an NDA or not, though. Nemeth claims that he appreciated the offer and wanted to look it over with his own legal counsel. Yet, the offer was at one point no longer an option. The documents claim that Peck told Nemeth that he'd be, quote, placed in an antagonistic position to Mega if this escalated to arbitration. Yet Nemeth claimed to have always had a positive and respectful working relationship with Mega Parek. Nemeth has also claimed that Peck threatened to sue him in response to sending the aforementioned timeline. Nemeth now claims that he's met with mental health professionals over the matter and is seeking policy change along with a financial consideration that was discussed. He notes that he felt the roster in AEW is full of amazing people who deserve a safer environment, and actually didn't think that Punk was the catalyst for the contrary. And he thinks that it would likely be someone else. He claims that his concerns fell on deaf ears to Chris Peck and AEW, along with others that have communicated those issues to Peck. The document notes that AEW Legal and HR received the timeline, but not Peck himself, as things had reached a stonewall with him. He also made it known that Mega Parek, the Young Bucks, and Jon Moxley were helpful during this situation. Nemeth did speak to Tony Khan and others months ago, and Khan had entertained the idea of Nemeth returning to AEW. Yet at the time, Nemeth did not wish to. Fightful states that they have reached out to AEW for comment on the situation and have yet to hear anything back. Now, this is very interesting to hear it all broken down in a timeline here. This all does go in with what we've already heard over the last year regarding incidents with CM Punk and Ryan Nemeth, people not being let to enter certain buildings because Punk didn't want them there. Punk always claiming, or others always claiming, Punk's got some sort of an executive role in this company. They just don't want you to know about it. Punk's a management person here. They just don't want you to know about it. And Ryan Nemeth is claiming that here as well. But with that, we will continue to follow this story very, very closely. And if we do hear anything further on this timeline sent to AEW by Ryan Nemeth, we'll have it for you right here. Wrestling Unlimited.